Welcome back to the channel. Today, you will learn English with a natural conversation about discipline, habits, motivation, and personal growth. Listen carefully, follow the dialogue, and try to repeat some useful sentences out loud. Let's begin. You look tired today. Did you sleep late again?
Yeah, I did. I stayed up watching videos, even though I promised myself I would sleep before 11.
That sounds familiar. I used to do the same thing all the time.
The problem is, I know what I should do. I know I should sleep earlier, study more, exercise, and stop wasting time. But somehow I keep doing the opposite.
So basically, you are struggling with discipline.
Exactly. I want to be more disciplined, but I don't know where to start. Sometimes I feel motivated for 2 days, and then I go back to my old routine.
That's because motivation is not reliable.
What do you mean?
Motivation comes and goes. One day you feel excited, and the next day you feel lazy. Discipline means doing what matters, even when you don't feel like doing it.
That sounds good, but it also sounds difficult.
It is difficult at first, but it gets easier when you stop depending on your feelings.
So, how do I actually do that?
First, you need to make your goals clear. A lot of people say, I want to be better, but that is too vague.
True. I often say things like, I want to improve my life, but I don't really define what that means.
Exactly. Instead of saying, I want to be healthier, say, I will walk for 30 minutes every morning. Instead of saying, I want to learn English, say, I will study English for 20 minutes after dinner.
So the goal needs to be specific.
Yes, specific goals are easier to follow because your brain knows exactly what to do.
That makes sense. But what if I make a plan and still don't follow it?
Then maybe the plan is too big.
Too big?
Yes. Many people fail because they try to change everything at once. They want to wake up at 5, go to the gym, read books, eat perfectly, study, save money, and become a new person in 1 week.
That sounds exactly like me.
And what happens after a few days?
I get tired and quit.
Right. Discipline grows through small promises. Start with something so simple that you almost cannot fail.
Like what?
For example, instead of saying, I will study English for 2 hours every day, start with 10 minutes. Instead of saying, I will exercise every morning, start with 5 push-ups or a short walk.
But isn't that too little?
It may look small, but the goal at the beginning is not perfection. The goal is consistency.
Consistency over intensity.
Exactly. Doing something small every day is more powerful than doing something big once and then stopping.
I like that. I usually try to do everything perfectly, and when I fail, I feel guilty.
Guilt is not very useful unless it teaches you something. Discipline is not about hating yourself when you fail. It is about coming back quickly.
Coming back quickly?
Yes. Imagine you miss 1 day of studying. That is not a disaster. The real problem begins when one missed day becomes one missed week.
That happens to me a lot. I miss one workout, then I think, well, I already failed, and I stop completely.
That is called all or nothing thinking. Disciplined people are not perfect. They simply return to their habits faster.
So missing once is not failure?
No. Missing once is human. Missing again and again without paying attention becomes a pattern.
That actually makes me feel better. And,
Good. Discipline should make your life stronger, not heavier.
but I have another problem. My phone distracts me all the time. I plan to study, but then I check one message, and suddenly 30 minutes are gone.
Your environment is stronger than your willpower.
That sounds serious.
It is. If your phone is next to you and notifications are always appearing, you are making discipline harder than it needs to be.
So, what should I do? Throw my phone away?
Not exactly. Just create distance. Put your phone in another room when you study. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Use app limits. Make distractions less available.
I guess I rely too much on self control.
Most people do. But self-control becomes easier when your environment supports your goals.
So, if I want to eat better, I should not keep junk food in my room.
Exactly. And if you want to read more, leave a book on your desk. If you want to drink more water, keep a bottle near you. Make good habits visible and bad habits inconvenient.
That sounds practical. That sounds practical.
Discipline is often practical. It is not just about being mentally strong. It is about designing your life in a smarter way.
I never thought about it like that.
Also, you should connect your habits to something you already do.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
For example, after brushing your teeth, you review 10 English words. After lunch, you take a 10-minute walk. After dinner, you prepare your clothes for the next day.
So I attach a new habit to an old habit.
Exactly. This makes it easier to remember.
I like that. I could study English after breakfast because I always have breakfast at the same time.
Perfect. That is a simple and clear routine.
But what about days when I feel really tired?
On those days, lower the difficulty, but don't break the habit.
Can you explain?
Let's say your normal plan is to study English for 30 minutes. If you are exhausted, study for 5 minutes. If your plan is to exercise, just stretch for 2 minutes. Keep the identity alive.
The identity?
Yes, every time you do the habit, even in a small way, you are telling yourself, I am the kind of person who keeps promises.
That is powerful.
Discipline is strongly connected to identity. If you see yourself as a lazy person, you will act like one. But if you start seeing yourself as a disciplined person, your actions slowly follow.
But what if I don't believe I am disciplined yet?
Then prove it with small actions. Confidence is built through evidence.
Evidence?
Yes, every small promise you keep becomes evidence. You wake up on time once. Evidence. You study for 10 minutes. Evidence. You put your phone away. Evidence.
And over time, I begin to trust myself.
Exactly. Self-trust is one of the biggest benefits of discipline.
I think I understand. Discipline is not just about productivity, it is also about respecting yourself.
That is a great way to say it.
But I have one more question. How do I deal with people who don't understand my goals?
That can be challenging. Some people may laugh, criticize, or tempt you to quit because your change makes them uncomfortable.
Yes, when I say I want to wake up earlier, my friends say, relax, life is short.
Life is short. That is exactly why your choices matter.
Good point. Well,
You don't need to explain everything to everyone. Just be polite and consistent. Your results will speak louder than your words.
so I should not argue?
Usually, no. Just say, I'm trying to build a better routine and continue.
I like that. Simple and calm.
Also, choose your influences carefully. Follow people who inspire discipline. Spend time with people who respect growth. Listen to content that reminds you of your goals.
So discipline is not only personal, it is also social.
Yes, the people around you affect your standards.
That is true. When I spend time with focused people, I become more focused too.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you something. What is one habit you want to build first?
I think I want to wake up earlier.
Good. Be specific. What time?
7 o'clock.
What time do you wake up now?
Usually around 8:30.
Then don't jump directly to 7. Try waking up at 8:15 for a few days, then 8, then 7:45, and slowly move earlier.
That sounds more realistic.
And what will you do before sleeping?
I will put my phone away at 10:30.
Good. Where will you put it?
On the table in the living room, not next to my bed.
Excellent. And what time will you go to bed?
I'll try to be in bed by 11.
That is a clear plan.
It feels simple enough to follow.
That is the point. Discipline becomes easier when the next step is obvious.
I also want to study English every day.
Great. When will you study?
After breakfast for 20 minutes.
What exactly will you do during those 20 minutes?
I will listen to a short story, read the transcript, and repeat useful sentences.
Perfect. That is specific.
I feel more confident now. Before this conversation, discipline felt like a huge mountain. Now it feels like a set of small steps.
That is exactly what it is. You don't become disciplined in one dramatic moment. You become disciplined through repeated small choices.
I guess the secret is to keep promises to myself.
Yes, but start with promises you can actually keep.
Clear goals, small habits, better environment, consistency, and self-trust.
That is a great summary.
I'm going to start tonight. Phone away at 10:30, bed by 11, wake up at 8:15 tomorrow.
Nice. And remember, don't aim for a perfect life. Aim for a better pattern.
A better pattern. I like that.
Discipline is not a punishment. It is a way to create freedom.
Freedom? That sounds strange.
Think about it. When you are disciplined with money, you have more financial freedom. When you are disciplined with health, you have more energy. When you are disciplined with time, you have more control over your day.
So, discipline gives me more choices.
Exactly. It is not about making life boring. It is about making your future better.
That changes everything. I used to think discipline meant forcing myself to suffer.
No. Discipline means caring enough about your future self to make better choices today.
I needed to hear that.
Then start small. Stay consistent and don't quit after one bad day.
I won't. And if I fail once, I'll come back quickly.
That is the mindset.
Thanks. I feel ready to build a better routine.
Good. Now go home and put that phone in the living room.
I will. No more excuses tonight.
That sounds like the beginning of discipline.
One small promise at a time. Great job. Oh, today you practiced a natural English dialogue about discipline, habits, motivation, and self-control. Remember this useful sentence. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about coming back quickly. If you enjoyed this lesson, like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more English stories and dialogues.